Cognition within the same dimension cannot resolve internal conflicts. Can those who love marriage and family solve the series of conflicts and crises that occur within them? The answer is impossible. It's like standing in a muddy pit and trying to clean your feet. It's not possible. Just as a mouse cannot solve the crisis of being caught by a cat with its level of cognition, and just as a patriot cannot build a world of great harmony, it's as futile as a fish trying to fly to a forest to settle in and sing. Farmers cannot solve their own contradictions and crises. And likewise, workers and intellectuals cannot solve their own contradictions and crises. Similarly, a nation, a country, a political party, and a religion cannot resolve their own contradictions and crises. Because cognition within the same dimension cannot solve conflicts within that dimension, humanity itself cannot solve its own contradictions and crises. Because human cognitive ability is limited by time and space, it always tends to focus on one thing at the expense of others. When one contradiction is resolved, it will sow the seeds of another 8 contradictions. And when one crisis is resolved, it will give rise to 8 more crises. People coming from other places can easily discover the deficiencies and shortcomings of the local area. People from developed areas can easily find business opportunities and make money in less developed regions. The contradictions and crises of an underdeveloped or even impoverished country need people from developed civilizations to resolve them. Humanity's contradictions and crises require extraterrestrial beings to solve. From this, we understand a principle: to resolve conflicts, confrontations, and crises. Do not seek solutions and approaches within the same dimensions. Internal contention results in an increase in entropy, leading to rigidity and death. Instead, actively and proactively introduce people and cultures from different dimensions to overcome one's own contradictions and long-standing problems. The more pronounced regionalism, nationalism, and patriotism, the less conducive it is to resolve one's own contradictions and crises. The principle also applies to individuals. The stronger the ego, the better one feels about oneself, and the more reluctant one is to listen to others' advice, the greater the hidden crises on the path of life. Because individuals cannot truly know and understand themselves, those around them are more aware of their situation. When a person rejects the advice of others and stubbornly insists on their own course of action, crises and dangers await ahead. Therefore, when a person is troubled, suffering, and worried, the best approach is to abandon their own cognition and seek external methods to solve the problems. If one always believes that they are right and refuse to listen to others' advice, their troubles, suffering, and anxieties will not decrease, but instead increase. In conclusion, do not seek solutions and ways to resolve crises within the same dimension of people and culture. Instead, look to people and culture from different dimensions to find solutions and paths to overcome problems and crises.